Jareth Schnacher. Jareth, you here?
Huh. Hey,
I hope I
hey,
pronounced your.
uh, uh, big fan. Long time, first time.
Hello, Jareth.
Hey there.
Jareth, how do you pronounce your first name?
Uh, Heinous?
That seems like to be a different first name than we were originally given. But
Oh,
if you prefer to
Jareth.
go by Heinous,
Jareth is my middle name.
oh, I
I
see.
switched it up on you. I'm just so nervous. I'm such big fans. I'm a,
Are
see,
we
uh,
are we pronouncing your last name right too? Schnatcher?
Schnacker. Schnacker.
Schnacker.
Hey, before we start, you guys can see my shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
it says I'm probably lying.
I'm actually under court order to point out my shirt that says because due to multiple legal infractions from selling things online that were not real.
Wow.
So yeah,
So they made you wear this almost like a sandwich board of shame over your body to let people know that you may potentially be lying.
yeah.
It seems
Huh.
probably cruel and unusual punishment to me.
Well, I don't know. That's what they gave me. So
I mean,
uh,
sometimes the punishment's got to fit the crime.
That's
So,
true, and I will keep this in mind as we have our conversation,
thank
Heinous.
you. Yeah. Um,
what do you
well,
bring for us today, Heinous?
okay. So what's more important? Actually, the item is actually where I got it. So I work for a thing called TaskRabbit,
Mm-hmm.
and I was changing the air filter at the childhood home at a certain celebrity born in rural Nebraska. I can't say his name, but it is Larry the Cable Guy. Uh, so I was at Larry the Cable Guy's house, and usually he's a reasonable customer will leave a tip of $1 to $3 after I change their air filters.
Right,
That's
common courtesy.
reasonable. But this guy was stingy and did not tip. So on my way out, I walked right by a box of expensive and rare jewelry. And as I walked past the jewelry, I snagged this jar of ragu that's filled with bacon grease, used bacon grease in it. And I just thinking like all the things I could, how much I could sell this used bacon grease for that was used by Larry the Cable Guy in his bacon. And I've been racking my brain on how to cash in on it. Uh, it's it was chock full. You can see it's down to here. My brother, I cannot turn down a dare. My brother keeps daring me to drink some of it, and I just can't. I just do it, and now I've taken more than a few swigs of it, and it's running out. So I'm just getting worried that I'm gonna use it all up before I get to cash in on this sweet nectar.
Well, that is an interesting story you've shared. At this point, I am trying to pinpoint which part of that story may probably be a lie, and I'm going to say that is you do not have a brother.
I don't. I was just drinking the bacon grease because it tastes good.
See, I am an empath, and I can intuit when people are telling the truth or not, and I'm gonna I have a 100% record on these things.
Michael is a world-renowned mind reader. I'm surprised you haven't tried to teach a mind reading class instead of an eBay power selling class.
Every time I want to sign up, the current mind reader teacher, he is already in the building, blocking me from entering to sign up.
It's like he knows you're coming.
Guys, in all seriousness, though, I'm kind of in a tight spot because I went out and got this sweet haircut that I couldn't afford today. Um,
I see that. You look a bit like like an electric plug that's been worn down to the nub.
well, it's actually what they call a double mohawk, and they charge per mohawk.
They
Ooh,
charge you,
So
so it's
ooh.
twice the price for twice the slice.
right,
Well, it seems like it's a thrice of a slice because they had to slice
That's
thrice
true.
instead of
So
twice.
you got a deal, my friend.
you guys are blowing my mind with your wordsmithery.
So earlier I said the word protege, which is French for prodigy, which is the name of a band whose lead singer had that exact haircut in the classic 1994 video Firestarter.
And that was me.
And you're thinking of the word Ben. Do you know someone in your life named Ben?
Yes. It's this guy named Ben.
100%
Who's Ben
batting
to you,
average.
Heinous?
Who's Ben to me? He's the janitor at the Quick Mart down the street. It's a very busy Quick Mart. They have their own they don't just have the guy behind the register sweep. They have a dedicated person to clean up, and he's been nice to me over the years.
Now, if I may guess, I got a guess for you, Michael.
Do it.
Heinous. I think one of that parts of that story, you're lying.
Oh,
I think that they don't have a designated sweeper position at the Quick Mart, and it's just the same Ben's the same guy.
Tom, you did it. Player 2 has just entered the game.
hey,
I put in some quarters.
I've got some Bigfoot toe clippings if you guys would like to buy those.
Oh,
Well, we're not buying anything ourselves. We're just here to offer our advice on how to sell things.
right, and you
Yes.
you have some.
Go right ahead, Michael. This is your show.
I was just saying, I was taking it back to this jar of bacon grease. It would be remiss of me to not give you some advice on how to list that on the eBay.com website.
That's just what I was thinking too.
You have there is a vintage food item. It's not necessarily for consumption, although it seems you are consuming it at the moment. But, people like to buy, little fermented items, things in jars. Are you okay, my friend?
Goes down hard. Whew.
Man, I can feel my arteries clogging from here.
There was...
You're lying.
It's a bit of wordplay too. Ha!
Now, Heinous.
Michael,
Yes.
I have sorry, Heinous. Michael, you go ahead and say your thing.
You keep saying heinous. The H is silent.
I'll refer to you by your last name. Schnacher.
Schnacher. Anus Jareth Schnacher.
Okay,
Interesting.
that's me.
Let's try to think which one of those is the lie. Is it that his first name is Anus? That his middle name
Now-
is Jareth? Or that his last name is Schnacher?
He didn't tell any of this at any one time. I feel like that's on a birth certificate, unless his parents were lying. And they're not actually his real parents.
I mean, and Fuego, you guys are on fire.
We're like Tony Gwynn and Steve Finley. Batting in the mid 300s for
You're
the
like
early
Daniel
90s.
Negreanu playing poker, reading my hand.
You're like me, the first time I ever played blackjack at that back room out in Deerfield. Couldn't stop winning.
It's always the
So
first.
they made
You're
me
always
stop.
chasing that first victory, aren't you? Are you not?
I've
Yeah.
also never lost at gambling, just like you.
You know what
I've
we should
lost.
do? We should all say one thing that's a lie and one thing that's true. And I'll start off. When I was a child, I was placed in a basket and left in a field. And the lie is that I am not wearing a wire.
Michael,
about
I
you?
think. Hold on.
Huh?
You're supposed to tell us a thing. We're not supposed to know whether it's a truth or a lie. We're supposed to guess.
Oh, mine was an example round. It
Listen.
wasn't official.
Anus, I feel like Michael's getting us off track here. We do need to get moving. I will say that going the fermented items route is a good move. I will say this also is that I'm looking up Larry the Cable Guy memorabilia, and the market is bone dry. They are, and by the bone dry, I mean nobody wants to buy anything related to Larry the Cable Guy. As it turns out, all of his stuff is selling for under $20, maybe even under 12. So I would say you got to find a food celebrity that's got some Larry the Cable Guy energy to say that your sauce, your bacon grease is from. I got just the guy for you because his name is Guy Fieri.
Yes. I like where you're thinking.
No, I'm trying. I've asked him multiple times.
So,
No,
so Ines, you say that that's Guy Fieri's bacon grease, and I mean, based on my research, you could be making upwards of 75, maybe even $100
This
for
is
even just that scant amount.
Guy Fieri's. He took several drops from every episode of dives, drive-ins, and diners, and put it in this jar, and that's what this is from.
That
Well, what do
sounds
you
like
want
a
me to
proper
do?
eBay description for me.
This last guest has said nothing about summer camps. How am I supposed to segue back and ask the question a fifth time? Huh?
Anus, we do have to move on. Our stream is coming to a close. So thank you so much for coming through, and best of luck in your sailing adventures, my friend.
Thanks. Hey, and I love you guys.
Thank you,
Or is
Anus.
that a lie?
You rascal.